Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant and dedicated now for over 25 years to educating, motivating and inspiring people just like you to regain control of, in particular, the mind body health area of your life. Why? Because it has a catalytic impact in every other area of your life. Once you regain control of the mind body health area, your mind's the control tower. And everything you do that impacts your mind has a huge impact on everything else. And that's why I'm so passionate about stress to people, the importance of psychology and mindset and motivation and everything else that goes into, living a healthy, active lifestyle, having a body and a mind and a brain that exhibits optimal levels of vibrancy. All these things are possible. All these things are possible for you. And in these podcasts, myself and guests that I have on will share important tips and strategies and personal experiences, as well as client experiences that we hope will have a huge impact on you in how you live your life and will help you to get to where you want to be. Because the reality is we have unlimited potential. It's up to you to make sure that you realize your full potential. On this particular episode, I want to speak to you about self-love. I want to ask you, what is your level of self-love? And I want to speak about this because this particular week I've been approached by a lot of people asking me my thoughts on self-love. I've done a couple of posts and commentaries and live broadcasts about this particular topic, and it's the most important topic that we can discuss. Your level of self-love has a huge impact on everything that goes on in your life, because if you don't love yourself, it's very hard for you to love others truly. And I don't mean this just in the romantic sense. I mean it in terms of anything that you do in your life, any proper interaction you have with other people. It could be with a partner from an intimate point of view. It could be with family, friends. It could be kids. It could be, work colleagues. It could be associates. It could be anybody, people in general, humanity in general. You can give more of yourself, and in a much better way, in a more powerful and empowering and, liberating and uplifting way, if you have true self-love. Because when you don't experience proper self-love, you're always being held back, because you don't have that love of yourself to truly give of yourself to the levels you can do. And this is the thing that people mistake. They often think that if they sacrifice themselves, it's okay because they're doing stuff for other people. Well, the reality is, if you sacrifice yourself in these ways, you're actually limiting your ability to help others. If you actually prioritize you and put on your own oxygen mask first, and did what you need to do for you and became the best you that you can be, and got to the point where you truly love you, you can help so many more people in so much better ways. So self-love is really key. What it really comes down to, because people have different opinions on what self-love means, what is self-love, how does it appear. The bottom line is, you are a unique person. I am a unique person. Everyone's unique in our own ways. We have our own souls, our own spirits. We are our own people, our own characteristics. And if you're truly living a life where you are being you, like truly being you, the true essence of you, and not just being the person that society says you should be, being the person that society says you need to be, behaving like the person that society says you need to be to achieve what it determines success is, to try to attain what it determines happiness truly is. If you're not being that, and instead you're being the true essence of you and embracing your uniqueness and truly loving you, that's self-love. Acceptance of you. That's what real self-love is. You should be able to be true to your values, true to your beliefs, true to who you are, be the person you are, and not give a shit about anyone else in terms of what their opinion is of you. It's none of your business, as the saying goes. But you shouldn't care, and it shouldn't impact you that much, because once you're being you, you're being true to you, true to your essence, true to your spirit and your soul. That gives you so much more happiness. And that's truly, truly liberating, because you shouldn't care what other people think. If you live your life based on what other people think in general and what other people think of you, you're never going to be truly free. You're never going to truly experience happiness and joy and fulfillment and success, or definitely not the levels of success that your potential is there for. That will only happen if you've experienced true self-love. Okay, so I want you to really reflect and analyze, what is my level of self-love? Do I truly love myself? Or am I fooling myself to think that I love myself? And how will you know? Well, you exhibit it in your actions and your decisions and your behaviors, because the way you act, behave, and decisions you make should serve you in your aspirations, your goals, your dreams. It should serve the essence of what you truly believe happiness means to you. And remember, that's a different perception for all of us. Like, I have my own view of what happiness is for me in my life. That doesn't mean you have to be the same. And it shouldn't be the same. It should be different. We all should have different ideas and perception of what happiness means. This is why I'm saying about break free of societal conditioning. People are so chained by societal conditioning, and we're conditioned and brainwashed from a very young age. Literally, once you start school, even kindergarten, creches, it depends on your parents or those in your environment, their behavior, their actions, and their beliefs and values, and what they impress upon you in that environment. But the system will condition you to believe that there's certain things that mean success, and it's down to an impossible dream of, you have to have certain cars, you have to have certain types of houses, you have to have certain type of relationships, you have to have certain marital status, you have a certain level of family, you have to have a certain amount of money in the bank, you have to have a certain level of job or career or business if you're self-employed, all this kind of stuff. Some of the happiest people in the world, some of the people who have the greatest self-love, have what on the outside seems like so little, but on the inside, they've got everything. They've got all they need because they love themselves. So you need to start loving yourself more. And, it drives me mad looking around and seeing so many people who don't love themselves, don't truly love themselves. And people I work with, and it's a huge area that I work on with people. It's like filling that void, because there is a void, and lack of self-love is the reason why there are alcohol addictions. Of course, there's other reasons too, but lack of self-love is one that is probably the biggest reason and catalyst for drug addiction, alcohol addiction, sex addiction, any form of addiction. It's down to that. It behaviors that people have. Everything that people are doing that is not good, it's self-harming, that's self-sabotaging. It's because of the void. They're trying to fill a void. And the void basically is themselves. They don't love themselves. They're not accepting themselves. It's like someone truly being themselves and coming out as themselves. It doesn't happen. It's a rarity. And that's why so many people are, living very unfulfilling, unhappy lives. But the good news, it doesn't have to be that way, because at the end of the day, we all have the power to take personal responsibility for our lives, to take personal responsibility for, our actions, our decisions, our behaviors, take personal responsibility for our health and well-being, take personal responsibility for, anything to do with our relationships, our jobs, our careers, our businesses, our financial situation, our life experiences. Really, that's so important that we take personal responsibility, because, it truly is a choice. There are no excuses. Even if something is something that's out of our control, we can always go above it, go underneath it, go around it, smash through it in some way. There's always a way. There's always a solution for every single problem. But we need to see it that way, okay? So once you start working on self-love, now what will that mean? I want you to up your level of self-love. Make sure you give yourself a rating, like 1 to 10. Like when I was growing up, for instance, from the age of 6 or 7, 8 to about 17, my level of self-love would have probably been a 1 or a 2 out of 10. I hated myself. I had no confidence, no self-esteem, no self-image. I hated myself. I wanted to die. I came close to suicide many times. No one knew this, which made it harder because I kept it all inside. No one knew. No one had a clue. What's my level of self-love now? I would say it's an 8 or 9. There's always room for improvement. That's why I don't say a 10. And it's ever evolving. And for the last 25 years, it's moved from that level of 1 or 2 all the way up to now I say 8, 9, that type of way. And for the rest of my days, it will continue to improve, because I'm always looking at ways to improve me as a person, to keep being true to who I am as a person, as an entity, as a spirit, as a soul, whatever again you want to believe from that perspective. And I continuously look to improve, and it's ever evolving. And I want it to be for you. I want, if we were to have this conversation 1 year from now, I want your level of self love to have increased from whatever number you're saying it is right now to a number much higher. That's progress, and that's what you want to do. And self-love, as I said, is acceptance who you are, but you need to work on you, self-development, personal development, self-growth, all that kind of stuff, mindset. It's so key in this area to actually develop self-love. So develop self-love by creating a strong mindset. How do you do that? Analyze and reflect on what you watch, read, and listen to every single day, in terms of material as well as people. Look at your circle of people. Are they like-minded? Are they true like-minded to the essence of who you are now? Are you in a crowd of, inverted commas, like-minded people just because it feels like that's who you want to be part of, or who you should be because, again, society says that, or it's a cool group, or it's just a group you grew up with, or it's a group that you fell into? You know, you're being too cowardly to step out of it and just be you, be true to you, or to be true to you within that group. That's another thing that most people aren't willing to do. So, you know, look at the people you're around, look at who you listen to, look at who you respect, look at who you pay attention to, who pays attention to you. You know, respect needs to be both directions. The material, you know, what do you listen to? What are you watching? What are you reading? Is it serving to increase your mindset, strengthen your mindset, empower your mindset, improve your ability to control your thought process and react in a more positive way to life situations? You know, what is it doing? Does it fill you with energy? Does it uplift you? All these things are important. You know, look at what you do with every area of your life. You know, do you exercise? Do you take pride in your body and your body shape and your health and your fitness? It's not about, again, looking like an Adonis or a fitness model or anything, but, you know, everyone wants to look a certain level that's reasonable. You know, do you take pride in it? Because again, if you don't take pride in it and you're very overweight, very unhealthy, you don't exercise regularly, you don't eat the right kind of food, you don't stay hydrated, you're not doing any of those things that you should be doing just for basic health, not even optimal, but just basic health. If you're not even doing the basics, you definitely don't have self-love. You have a low level of self-love. Because why would you poison your body, put the wrong foods and liquids in? Why would you, you know, not energize your body and make it look as good as possible, feel as good as possible by not exercising? Why would you do that if you had self-love? You know, people who have the highest levels of self-love, they work on their mind every single day. They work on their body every single day. They're very mindful of what they consume, food and liquid-wise, every single day, apart from, of course, the odd treats and stuff. But again, they're mindful of when and they control when. Mindful of all these things. You know, again, mind, body, spirit, all these areas, enriching them all, empowering them all. It's so, so important. And again, the level at which you are doing these things is reflecting your level of self-love. So are you prioritizing those things? Like in your life, your dreams, your goals, are you being true to your dreams and goals in life? You know, you have dreams and goals. You have dreams and goals as a kid. You have dreams and goals right now. Whether you focus on them, think about them, admit them, tell other people about them or not, you still have them. And, you know, are you realizing your full potential? Because we have such, you know, unbelievable levels of potential. But are you living that way? Are your actions, behaviors, and decisions showing that you are? So I want you to really reflect on all of these things, like what I've said. I want you to put a bit of time into it, even just a couple of minutes. Like as you've been listening to this, I hope you've taken a couple of notes, noted down a few things, maybe you've made a few decisions, committed to some changes. But the bottom line is you need to raise your level of self-love. There is nothing more important. As I said, it's empowering, it's liberating, it gives you true freedom to be you, the essence of you, and to live your life the way you should do. You know, you are you. You're a beautiful person. You're a wonderful person. You're a unique person. Embrace that. Don't hide from it. Don't hide it away. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. You know, don't do things that you don't want to do. The right thing is always the right thing. And the most important person to do the right thing for is you. Okay? So, as I said, embrace the uniqueness of you. Develop your self-love. There is nothing more important. I can say that with full conviction, because I know from personal experience the power of self-love from my own personal journey through life up to this point. From going from a point where I would rate it that I had a level of 1 or 2 self-love to now I'd say about an 8 or 9. That's a hell of a journey, but it's me taking action, taking personal responsibility for where I am, who I am, and being true to me. And I unapologetically live my life as me, and for many years now, and increasingly so, I must say. I am me. You don't like me? Tough. I don't really care. If you like me, great. But I'm going to be me. I'm going to live my life as me, live this journey as me, and go through life forever as me. And this is what I want for you. Because again, like I said, if you do this, if you get that shift in your mindset to get to that point, it is so empowering and liberating, and every area of your life will explode. It will explode. And you will find it so much easier to experience happiness, because you will find happiness in the most simple of things, because you won't be so tied to societal conditioning. You know, you will see happiness in what truly you as a unique individual sees as true happiness. And that's what matters. You need to listen to your soul and your gut and work towards what it wants and what it needs. And self-love is the vehicle. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast. I'd love to get your feedback. Give this a rate and review. Share this out to with as many people as you can. And keep your feedback coming. Keep sending me directly your questions or topics you'd like me to cover in these particular episodes. You know, these episodes, this podcast is for you. Don't forget that. This is for you. It's not for me. It's for you. And I want to make sure I'm giving the content every single week that is of value to you. So message me. Let me know your topics and questions you want me to address. Let me know the kind of guests that you'd like me to have on. And I will do everything I can to make sure I keep delivering the highest quality and hopefully impactful content I can on a weekly basis here on the Mind Body Health Podcast. Keep being awesome. Be you. Embrace you. Your own uniqueness. Embrace it. And keep growing that self-love. I want you to get a higher figure. If we talk about this time next year, I want you to be a much higher figure than you are right now. Self-love is the key, guys. It's the vehicle to happiness.